TM to YouTube. There have been some massive changes for ToA, and I wanted to remake the 300 guide. The big changes that you're looking at, first of all, they have nerfed purples. Unless you are not doing over 300s, which many of you are not, right? If you're doing 300 or lower, your purples have not been nerfed. Second, Baba no longer hurts you through prayer, and Akkha chip damage has been reduced dramatically. I think roughly 50%. And he also only prays one style. So we never, ever, ever have to mage in Akkha again. And if you're like, what does any of this mean? The raid's easy. It's easy peasy, bro. Get in there and click boss. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how. First of all, gearing up for a ToA. What do we need? I have no clue. I've never done a ToA. What do I need for this raid? First of all, melee gear. What is with the weird blue robes? The weird blue robes are Blue Moon. What's great about this is it is both strength armor and it's your mage armor. So it's equal to Arims for maging, but it also gives strength bonus. The problem with it is it's paper thin armor and you get hit a lot through prayer. You know what they just fixed? Getting hit through prayer. It no longer matters. Baba doesn't hurt you and Akkha barely hits you. So we're good. You can wear this. It's fine. Not a problem at all. Other things we're wearing. Fang has gone up in price recently. I think it's coming down again. It's like 20 to 30 mil. You desperately need a Fang to do this raid. I would not recommend doing ToA as a main without a Fang. I'm going to be making an iron guide after this to show how to do it without Fang, but you really, really want a Fang. And then basic strength gear. Bearer's gloves, which double as range gloves, which is great. Dragon boots. We're going to wear a light bearer as well. Very, very cheap. The benefit of light bearer is you get to spam specs and it doesn't really hurt your melee DPS very much. Light bearer is incredible for both your DPS, ability to spam more defense training specs, etc., etc., etc. And I'm just wearing a fire cape. Obviously I have an Inferno cape, but I want to show it without. Blood Fury as well. Obviously Blood Fury is semi-expensive. It's not too bad though because you're stabbing with a Fang. I would highly, highly recommend if you're learning the raid to bring it. Completely negates the chip damage of Akkha, and it's going to negate any mistakes you make. So it's incredibly good for coming back from mistakes, that kind of thing. Obviously, we have Bruise as well, so you don't need it. You can wear a Torture, you can wear a Rancor. Both of those are very good. Blood Fury is amazing. That's it for what we're wearing. What about the other stuff? We have a ranged switch. Bofa is super good in this raid. It's super, super strong. We're going to use it on Akkha. It's your best DPS on Akkha in this setup, and we're going to use it on Zebak. It's also going to make Monkey Room a lot easier. I'm going to make a guide showing how to use Atlatl for if you don't have the money, so you might want to check that out if you're like, wow, Bofa's expensive. Bofa's like, this setup's like 200 mil for the range setup. If you don't have that money, there is an option for you, but I'm going to show it with Bofa for this setup. Blowpipe as well. What is the blowpipe for? Why are we using a blowpipe? If you already have a ranged weapon, what is this for? A couple of the rooms, like the Monkey Room, and certain parts of Baba, you're guaranteed max hit. This is going to take things out super, super fast. Also important for tagging swarms at Kefri. Okay, so this is more so used for its utility than for DPS, but we are going to use it to shoot Akkha's Shadows. Akkha's Shadows, it's better DPS than Bofa, so you do want to use that. Trident basic mage swap. We're already wearing our mage, so it's going to double melee gear for mage. It's just a simple Trident, Occult, Imbued God Cape, Tormented Bracelets, and then Book of the Dead as your offhand switch. We're going to be using Thralls, and I'm going to explain why you want to do that. Why am I using Thralls at all? What is the point of that? Why are we doing that? Thralls add 0.625 DPS. What does that mean for you? On every single boss, you are gaining 2/3 DPS. It's going to speed up your raid by several minutes, especially the worse your gear is, because that number is static. A lot of people think Blood Barrage is great because it heals you. I can get through the Monkey Room easier. They just took out 2 waves of Monkey Room, and I'm gonna get through it using 0 brew. You're gonna see it happen. You don't need Blood Barrage in this raid. Grab yourself Double Death Charge. It's so strong here. If you don't have it, you can still do the raid, but I'd highly recommend getting it first. How is it a free slot? Because Aether runes count as both soul and cosmic runes, so you can fit all the runes in your pouch. Okay, what else are we doing? We have Bruise, we have Restores, we have a Divine Ranging, which we're gonna use at Kefri, and we have a Divine Super Combat, which we are going to use at Kefri. What are these other 2 items? This is a Bando's Godsword. Bando's Godsword is amazing in the raid because everything is multiplied off raid level. So everything has a very low defense that is multiplied after. You need to hit a very low number with the BGS to drain the defense dramatically. Bando's Godsword is amazing for Baba, for Kefri, for Zebak, for P1 Warden, and for P3 Warden, and for P4 Warden. A lot of people ask me, should you bring a Bando's Godsword or should you bring Burning Claws? The answer is both! I'm poking your eyes out right now for asking me such a silly question. No, but seriously, bring both. Sometimes you drained all the defense, but now what do? We whip out the Burning Claws. Now, why are these good? These are one of the few special attacks that can have their style changed. Everything in ToA is weak to stab. We can put claws on stab. So it's a super accurate claw special attack on every boss. Higher raid levels, Voidwaker is great. At this raid level, at 300, these things cost 10 mil, and they're going to beat a Voidwaker. Should you bring them? Yes! Please! These are so strong. Bring both of these. There you go. That's it. That's how you gear up for ToA. All right? Amount of switches needed and increase the amount of supplies possible to bring. That's it. Oh, whoa, whoa. One more thing I forgot to mention. DDS. DDS is going to be used on the core. You're like, why the hell would I use a DDS if I have Burning Claws? Aren't Burning Claws better? No! Not on P2 Warden. You need this for P2 Warden. Nothing else can be substituted. You're like, I have better spec weapons. Can't I use those? No! And I'll show you that when we get there, but you need it. Okay? Does Abbey Dagger work? No, it maxes lower. Abbey Dagger bad. There's one other thing before we go into the raid besides gearing up for it. This raid has invocations. We are getting us to a 300 raid level. 300 raid level is like a mid-level-ish raid. A lot of people start with like 150s. I have 2 different decent setups for 300. This is the one I'm going to be running in this run. I'm going to show you the other one that's an option. You could run that in your raids. I'm going to show this one. I could give a full rundown of all of these, but effectively, the important ones here are we have overlords on. This is going to spawn extra mobs at Kefri. They made it so these extra mobs at Kefri have very, very low defense. They're very easy to deal with. This used to be a bad invo. It no longer is. Okay? And people see Insanity and they bite their nails, but it's really easy to deal with. I promise. It's really not bad. People hype up Insanity. It's honestly really easy to deal with. It's 50 raid level. It's a massive amount. It's the most raid level you can get out of any invocation. Still a couple more things before we go in the raid. We're getting there. Room order. This raid allows you to choose what order you want to kill the bosses. The order you should kill the bosses is always the same. And there is basically no exception to this, except at a very high raid level. And there's a lot of confusion on this. We're going to kill Baba first. Monkey Room Baba first. We're going to go to Kefri second. We're going to go to Zebak third. And we're going to do the hardest room Akkha last. And that's it. That's literally all you're going to do. Just do that. Okay? There's a whole bunch of reasons why we do that, but it's going to give you the easiest raid, so just do it. All right, last thing, before you go on a raid, you're going to pre-pot. I have a chugging barrel. Chugging barrel lets you put in a bunch of potions. You might own it, you might not. I am drinking a stamina, a divine super combat, a divine ranging, an extended anti-venom, and a prayer regeneration potion. You don't have to drink this if you don't want to. It's kind of expensive. It is worth it, though, to pre-pot into the raid. Extended anti-venom is long enough that you will not have to worry about poison into Kefri. So you don't need to bring Sandview potions, which are kind of expensive. If you don't have those, whatever, totally fine. Bring a Sandview so you can dodge poison. Okay, and we're going to eat an anglerfish to get back over 121 health with all of those potted. And with all of that preamble, we're good to go into the raid. Except I'm going to explain how to do the monkey room 1 second. You thought we'd start the raid? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start in range gear. Monkey room has a bunch of monkeys spawn out of the sidewalls. You have to kill all of them. They come in many waves. Once you kill all of them, the room ends. Okay? You're going to be doing puzzles throughout, pouring acid in vents, and you're going to be repairing pillars on the sides of the room so you don't take damage. Enter with your range gear on, but not with your Bofa on. Okay? And we're going to drop a few potions on the ground to pick stuff up when we enter. You're going to have Bofa on, and we are going to start tagging things. Things to remember for the monkey room. And honestly, monkey room, it's a puzzle room. It's probably the hardest room of the raid. Unironically, it's harder than the bosses. Even though they took out 2 waves, it's difficult. You can take a lot of damage. There are 3 different types of monkeys. There's red ones, green ones, blue ones. They align with the combat triangle, okay? If you use the correct style on them, like for ranged monkey, you're going to melee it, okay? If you use the correct style, it's a guaranteed max it. Guaranteed. That means all you've got to do is one-way swaps. Very simple. You used to have to do switches and your whole inventory would get screwed up. They also made it so shamans are guaranteed max it. So you can kill them in 2 pipe shots with ranged. With ranged, it's guaranteed hits. So the shamans we can kill in 2 pipe shots. This is why we're camping ranged. They also made it so the cursed baboons are guaranteed max it with range. So we're going to kill them with Bofa. Green guys, we're going to swap to Fang, throw on Piety, hit them once. You literally don't even have to put on Defender, anything else. Just one-way Fang, hit them, Piety, dead. For the red guys, one-way Trident, you don't even have to pray properly and just hit them. So we're going to be swapping Piety and Rigor. You don't have to worry about Augury in this room at all. You never have to turn it on, and we're doing one-way weapon swaps. You follow? Why 2 pipe shots instead of Bofa? I'm so glad you asked. It doesn't one-shot. It just barely doesn't one-shot. They might change that, but you just barely don't have enough damage to one-shot. So they have 50 health. You hit like 48 with Bofa. It's kind of sad. All right, we're going to run in the room. We're going to drop a few brews on the ground. I like to drop it up here on this tile. 3 potions are going on the ground. 3 potions. 1, 2, 3. Equip Bofa. Grab a hammer. One-way Trident. He's dead. One-way Trident. He's dead. Grab these stinky potions. Dump stinky potion in the vent when there's a skull over it. One-way Fang Piety. One-way Fang Piety. These guys explode. They deal a ton of damage. Avoid them. So you can run up, touch them, and then they explode like a couple ticks later. So you want to just not be next to them when they blow up. Or they hurt you a lot. That's probably the main way people die in this room is the volleys. Rip Alkin, unlucky. So we're one-way fanging. We're one-way fanging. You can actually blowpipe kill these. 2 shots to kill a shaman. That guy's far away. I'm going to equip a Bofa. Let's get rid of these guys. Just tag them. They also blow up other monkeys. So you see how that thrall just blew up? Gone. Peace. Okay, we're going to one-way trident after killing this. We're almost done. You're almost there. One-way trident. One-way fang piety. Pour some goop in the sewer. Okay, this is the last wave. So I'm going to blow these up with the volleys. See how I just blew those up so now I don't have to kill them? Super nice tech. If otherwise, you just clean them up with blowpipe. That's literally it. That's the whole room done. It's not too bad now. It's become a lot easier. Like with the last change already it was easier, but there's 2 waves gone as well. So not too bad. So just go pick up your potions once the raid is done, or once that room is done, and then go in here. This is Baba. Baba is so easy now. You will probably use no brew. If you mess up, you can use brew. I have a ton of brew, but you're probably not even going to need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the room, drop 1 potion on this tile, okay? And I'm going to start hitting Baba. I'm going to spam specs until I deal 20 damage. 20 damage is the cap in almost every single room. So you're going for 20 BGS damage. Okay, so we're going to spec until then. And then we're just going to stand next to the rocks that Baba drops. I'm just going to start because it's super simple. Okay, Baba's falling. Summon a thrall. Hey, look, 20. There you go. That's all you need. So once you land that spec, you just spam Burning Claws from then on. You can see they deal really good damage. So she drops rocks on you, and you're going to hang out next to these rocks, okay? That's a shockwave. You need to dodge those. She's going to occasionally throw a big rock at you. If you're standing next to these rocks, guess what? You take no damage. Otherwise, you take a lot of damage. Now, there's 2 monkeys spawned. What do we do now? Tag them with blowpipe. Any damage at all in the entire game is guaranteed to one-shot those now. So you don't have to deal with it anymore. Okay, that's enough damage, so we phased. There's 2 phases where we go to boulder phase. Okay? You're going to whip out your Bofa, dodge the bananas like this, and we're going to get in position. You're going to stand here. If you kill the boulder from here, you're good to make it. Hit Baba. That ends boulders. Easy peasy. And this setup has enough prayer that you don't even need to flick it all through any of the rooms, really. You're totally fine, because once we get to Warden, you're going to get a supply drop with extra restore. So you don't really have to worry about flicking at all with this. Watch out for the shockwaves. Okay, we're going to hang out next to this rock, and you can see it dropping ahead of time. I'm going to work my way down here, because it's closer to the bottom. And we send. The send nulls that rock getting thrown at you, so... Oh yeah, it's 66% for boulders, and then 33% for boulders. It's really simple. I put the health on Baba with monster HP percentage plugin. I know I can make that because I killed that from there. Cool. Let's send a claw. Nice, dodge this. I'm going to repot super combat because I'm about to run out. So you can see if you don't make any mistakes, it's literally a 0 damage room besides the monkeys that chip you. So that's it. You don't really have to worry about anything. Dramatically easier room than it was. Now, if you make some mistakes, take a little bit of chip damage, feel free to brew up. I have... The practice run I did before this, I used 2 doses of brew. So you have unlimited brew here. You can use as much as you need to. Don't feel bad about using brew at all. They're totally fine. Okay, we're going to move on to Kefri. You always do Baba and then Kefri. You took 20 damage the entire run? Yeah. Yeah, Baba's very different. So when you're entering this room, you want to make sure you avoid the one with the pillars. Now, if the pillars are second, we're going to go in a zigzag through these rooms, okay? So the way I avoid the pillar is this. And you can actually turn on this green highlight in Tombs of a Masket plugin. It just tells you which one to enter. So you don't even have to think about it. Just go in the green one. And then with ToA Puzzle Solver, it tells you what to do. Click over the red tiles. This is memory. With this room, you would just run over the red tiles. And in here, you're just going to click on these in the order they pop up. You want to always avoid the obelisk because it takes the longest to complete, and it also has some damage on you, like you have to avoid rocks. Just don't deal with the pillar. It's not worth it. Avoid it. Avoid it. You only have to do 2 puzzles in solo. So what you do is you go to one side, tag 4 of these to see the color. Tombs of a Masket lets you remember the color. And then you're just going to hit 1. Go to the other side. You're just matching these up. Very, very simple stuff. Literal Fisher-Price puzzles. And I couldn't see what that one was, but I knew it was the only color left, so I knew it was that. You only have to tag 4. That's why. That's it for the puzzle room. Easy. Very, very quick. The ToA plugin is Tombs of a Masket. Okay. Kefri. Let's take a second. Okay? Slow it down. Kefri. Let me pull up detached cam a second. Kefri is a pretty easy room. One of the easier rooms, I would say. Okay. Effectively, Kefri's going to launch fireballs at you that are going to go way up in the air. There's going to be a shadow below your feet, and then it's going to land on you. Okay? You got to dodge them. You're going to move out of the way. You can pray mage in a pinch, but don't get hit by them. Okay? So she's going to do that attack over and over and over. Then she has some special attacks. The first one she's going to do is a little swarm of flies around your character. It'll make a little buzzing sound. And then she's going to shoot a line of dung at you. Okay? You get to dictate where this line of dung goes, and it totally blocks your movement. Okay? The nice thing is it also blocks the ad's movement. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put a line of dung here. It does a line from your character all the way up to the wall. Okay? So we're going to stand in this area on the first dung. It's going to throw a line of dung at you here. Okay? And you're going to move to the left side of it, dodging out of the way. Okay? Why are we doing that? We have overlords on. That means it spawns a melee scarab every single time. So that means once we damage Kefri enough, it's going to spawn these. It's going to spawn a spitting scarab, which ranges you, and a melee scarab, which melees you. Now, because we put that line in the way, the melee scarab is going to path like this. Hum-de-dum-de-dum-de-doo-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, la-da-da-da-da-da. And that whole time, you're going to be slamming it with pipe shots. Awesome change they just made has made them all basically 0 defense. So that means you can blow pipe everything in this room now. So good. So good. So what you're going to do is you're going to be slamming that with pipe shots while dodging away. You're going to be praying range from the spitting scarab and just shooting it. Okay? Once you kill that melee scarab, you're not going to start killing the spitting scarab yet. You're going to start shooting swarms with your blowpipe. Okay? You're going to hit as many swarms as you can. The swarms that go into Kefri are going to heal her for next phase and give her more health. So the more swarms you can catch, the less damage you have to deal next phase. All right? Once you're done with that, guess what you're going to do? Pipe the fucking spitting scarab until he's dead. He's going to chip you for damage, but it's okay. It's fine. We have bruise. Everything is okay. Okay? After that phase, take a shot every time Gnomonkey says okay. Okay! We're alive! Moving on to the next phase. What you're going to do is rotate around the stupid stinky line all the way up here, and you're going to try to put a dung line here. Okay? Dung line here. I have alcohol poisoning? It's over, dude. Okay! All right, so you're going to put a line of dung here. You now have 2 lines of dung. What does that do? It traps the melee scarab next phase. You don't have to deal with it. I just realized I'm talking. My anti-poison's going to run out. I'm a little concerned. I might have to start doing the raid. Uh-oh. Trap the melee scarab in place. Okay? And then we're going to hang out in this area because there's an arcane scarab. The arcane scarab now jumps on zeros! Holy fucking Luya. He also has 0 defense. So guess what you're going to do to him? Shoot him with a blowpipe. Everything in this room is a blowpipe except Kefri, which is a fang. It's so free. It's so free. I'm going to start doing the room before my poison runs out. But I'll start talking mid-room. Let's pot up. Hop in the room. Drop a potion. BGS on. 20 BGS damage. Can we get it? She has very high defense to slash, so it takes a minute. Never lucky. We're just going to keep BGSing as we get specs. Okay. Swarm is on me. Step away. Line is up. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to death charge. Okay, the thing I didn't mention is she's going to spawn eggs. Eggs explode in a small area around them. She's going to do it in a second. You want to not be standing next to the egg when it explodes. It does a little bit of damage. You don't want to take that. Or you could just do enough damage that she doesn't spawn the eggs. That might be happening. Nope, there's the eggs. Okay. So these smaller eggs explode. These bigger ones spawn an enemy, and they don't explode. So it's a 3x3 area around it that does damage. You don't have to worry about it. We are equipping the pipe. We are shooting this guy. Pipe, pipe, pipe. It's so easy. It's so free. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Continue piping. If you don't manage to kill him, he'll do a little bit of damage, but we're fine. Let's go get the swarm. I don't know if we killed that fast enough that this is going to have much effect, but I'm doing it anyways. I feel like that was fairly bad DPS. Yeah, it's not doing anything. We took a little bit of health off. So generally, that's what you can do. As you get better, there's methods to like avoid damage and just deal with the swarms the whole time. Like flicking and stuff. This is fine for now, though. Totally fine. Hey, we've got some spec. Let's send some more BGS. 15 is pretty good. It's not the cap, but we're going to be okay with this. I forgot to rotate around. Let's get around to the other side of Kefri. Send a Burning Claw spec. And we're praying range because these little agile scarabs that hatch out do range damage. You can dodge most of it by doing this. Now, I haven't set up the cage yet. I'm going to wait. Unlucky. I should have been over here earlier. That's my bad. Oh, God, it's eggs. I'm unironically going to wait. This is on me. I should have been over here earlier. So now I'm waiting. Unlucky. Make sure as soon as you deal with the swarms, you rotate over to this side and you put this line here instead of putting it in the corner. Big mistake. Unlucky. Gonna waste a lot of time. This is fine, though. There's our swarm, finally. Right on time. Okay, let's hit Kefri. Pipe on. We're gonna shoot the arcane. Okay, and you can shoot swarms in between if you want. Otherwise, it's okay. You can just let it full heal this phase. Not a big deal. Just try to send as many pipe shots as possible at the arcane scarab. It's going to jump around the room constantly as you deal damage. You're almost guaranteed to hit it, so the defense changes are massive. Okay. All right, we got some tags in. Let's kill the spitting. Spitting first. Now, some people are like, why? It didn't even save health. I honestly wouldn't worry about the swarms at all for that phase. Don't worry about it. Some people ask me, why are you killing the melee scarab? What is that doing? What is the point of that? It's trapped, right? It can't do anything. It actually heals Kefri. So you don't want this to be alive. It heals Kefri a lot. So you always want to kill it. Mage is a little better DPS than blowpipe. So we'll use it in that case. No biggie. And we're going to spam specs now. Since we've already landed our BGS spec, we're just going to get some Burning Claws off. Beautiful. Okay, and now we're over. So post putting the traps down, you're basically just going to hang out near the corner of the room while hitting Kefri and run to the corner when you see the swarms on your character to keep the dung, like, contained, basically. Because otherwise you're going to put lines down everywhere. Not really a big deal, though, because Kefri dies really fast. If you put dung in a bad spot, it's totally okay. As long as you don't get trapped in a spot where you can't hit her. Then you're kind of screwed. Once you hit her down that third shield, it's going to go to green health. Green health resets the defense. But once we kill her here, she's dead. And she doesn't have very much health, so let's just finish her off. Let me just go grab this brew. Okay, swarm, run to the corner. Kill it, and if you're really close on Divine, you can just, like, save the dose. Yeah, there I was free. We don't need Divines anymore after this room, so we're good. Cool. All right. One of the changes they made as well, you can actually use this as a deposit box. You already could deposit potions, but now you can deposit anything you want. We don't really want to deposit anything, though, so we're just going to deposit the Divines, because we don't need those anymore. Common question here. Oh, man, a choice. Jeez, which one should I pick? This one. Stop thinking. Pick that one. Why did you pick that one, Gnomonkey? We need enough salt to get us through the next rooms. Salt is overload, okay? Hugely stat boosting. You need it. You need salt. Now, I could have picked Chaos. Chaos has like 1 salt, but we want enough salt that we don't have to pick this later because we're going to pick Life second. Okay? Always, always, always pick Power. Always. Always. Don't think about it. Don't look at the other options. Don't waste time like I'm doing right now. Yapping. Click Power. Move on. All right. We're going to go to Zebak. So, Zebak, the way I do this room, we basically need to get water from 2 of these waterfalls. So, what you're going to do is click to my green tile here, and you can actually run straight through these spikes, and you don't take any damage. Okay? And you can use the jug on the water and on the tree to save a tick. It doesn't really matter, though. Like, you can just waste that tick. It'll still be fine. Now, if you're too slow and you take damage on the way back or something, this crocodile that spawns, you're going to see him now. He's going to start eating the tree, and he's going to start draining its health. So if you mess up, make sure you go kill him. Grab from these waterfalls, go fill it up. Once the tree's watered, you're done. Easy. Room over. Very simple. It's as fast as that, so. If you do it properly, it's going to be that every single time. All right, Zebak. We're going into explanation mode again. I'm so sorry. All right. We have... I'm going to detach cam a second. Okay. You can ignore these green tiles. Effectively, this is the 10-tile range, so honestly, it's still useful. If you're using a Bofa, this is as far as you can reach Zebak with your Bofa. If you're standing back here, it's going to drag you, which is kind of helpful. Red tiles where I usually drop potions. Doesn't really matter that much. Why are the sides red? What does this do? Okay. Before I get into the full boss explanation, I'm just going to explain the tiles, and I'll explain the boss as we're killing it. He's going to spawn these little fucking blood spawns that are going to follow you with a ticking health bar that eventually they're going to die. Okay? So if you avoid them long enough, they die. These little blood spawns are going to chase you, step on you, heal the boss, and then they're going to gain health off of you and last longer. Okay? So, if you stand on the opposite side of where they spawn, they'll either spawn on the right or the left. They can't spawn anywhere else. If you go to the opposite side of the room from where they spawned, they die right as they reach you. So you don't have to think about it. Okay? Easy peasy. I'm just going to explain the room as we go, because Zebak's really, really simple. First things first, I'm going to run in and I'm going to BGS. Okay? I'm going to run in and BGS. Zebak can bite you. The bite can kill you in 1 hit. Don't get bit. One of the cool things about the bite, though, is it has a delayed attack, and if you dodge 2 tiles backwards, you dodge it. So you don't have to worry about getting hit by it. We're going to run in and BGS. Okay? We want to get 20 damage off. Geez, that's familiar. It feels like we do that every room. 20 BGS damage is what we're going for. We're going to withdraw, assault, and we're going to hit that. Yeah, I hit that good stuff. That's going to boost all your stats dramatically, make you do a shit ton of damage. You need salt. All right, we're going to run in, BGS. Let's go. You can summon a thrall in the way. A 1 is not good enough. So dodge out of the way, flinch back in, BGS. Not good enough either, but when we go back in for another BGS, we'll do it later. That's fine. Unlucky. And just hang out on one of these tiles. You could hang out over there, you can hang out over here, but the reason I'm hanging out on the left side is because he's going to do a jug special attack, and this side is always going to solve that. So you want to stand on this side. You follow? Okay, good. He just hit me with a blood barrage because I was not paying attention. You can actually flick mage and block that, and it won't heal the boss and it won't damage you. Totally blockable. Okay, there's no big slabs. That means it's waves, so waves are coming up. All right, we're just gonna dodge it. It's possible to skip through it. It makes things more dangerous than they need to be. Don't bother. Big thing to remember with these waves is they have line of sight check dragging behind them, so don't run straight behind the wave. Never do that. That'll get you killed. They'll drag you and do damage, and it'll kill you. It's bad. Even though it's less bad than it used to be, they made it a little better. Still don't do that. Okay. We need to clear acid to get a blockade from his roar. The left side is always going to have a solve for the first set of barricades, so you're always going to stand in this area. We also have a BGS ready, so right after these 3 roars, which he's doing now, I'm going to BGS. It missed. Wow, that is a joke. You usually land one. That's unlucky. I'm not going to worry about Spec anymore. There's no point. He's too low health. That happens. Okay, we've got a swarm as waves come out. So this is the one case where you actually have to dodge them. You don't just get to block it for free. Basically, you just kind of move them around with you. They're going to despawn now. That's it. So you're just going to kind of move in a zigzag, dodge them that way. It doesn't always happen that happens while waves are happening. Kind of unfortunate when you see that, but we dodge. Also, you can do a boot takeoff. I forgot to drop a pot. Boots have -1 range, so it's kind of nice to get those off. Now, for this one, there's always a solve for this in the middle of the room. So, top left always has a solve for the first set of barricades. Middle of the room always has a solve for the second set of barricades. This is how you're going to deal with the upset stomach invocation in the future, but we have it off for now. Okay, we're going to enrage. He's level 1, so he's going to attack really slowly. There's a chance he's level 2 and attacks a little bit quicker than this. When he's in enrage and he's a low raid level, you can't actually block the blood barrages. You can if he's level 2 or level 3. So something to keep in mind. I can't dodge that. And that's it. Zabak is a very simple room, very low supplies. I haven't even touched a brew yet. We're 3 bosses in the raid. So the blood orbs follow where you're going. The blood orbs follow where you were on kind of a delay. So you can like trail them around the room like that. They're kind of like drunk. All right, we got 3 restores left for Akkha. That is unlimited. Very lucky. You can actually throw your salt back in the bag so you have space. And for Akkha, we have several mirror puzzles. The puzzle solver is going to tell you where to put those mirrors. Okay? So you're going to go drop them on these red tiles. And mine the wall where it's going to bounce through. Basically, we're going to mine the wall and make this laser bounce to it. Now, what you want to do as well is make sure you're right next to the pillar, but not next to it. A little bit away from it. When this turns green, you're going to click to mine, and that's going to make you mine it a little bit faster. Now, they actually made that unnecessary to get a 1 down at 99 mining, but you still want to do it. It's a speed up, and at certain mining levels, it's going to matter. Okay, so that's going to make you mine a little bit faster. So effectively tick manip. That's literally the whole room. If you get there late, it'll spawn another set of mirrors. You do it again until you manage to mine that pillar. Lower mining level, worse pickaxe is going to make that slower. So you'll probably need to do 2, maybe even 3 if your mining level is really bad. So higher mining is helpful for that. Okay, there is a bunch of new fancy butterfly methods for this room. I'm not going to do them. You don't need to. But when you're stepping up the raid level to, say, 400, 450, 500, you need to do them. Okay? I have guides on how to do butterfly with a Bofa, which is a new thing you can do, and butterfly with an Atlatl, so you probably want to check those out. I'm going to show you how to face tank and do this room completely brain off, and you're like, oh, thank God. Akkha's chip damage is so much lower than it used to be that this is going to be very free. Very, very, very free. What we're going to do is, because we can't drain Akkha like we can the other rooms, he only can be drained 10 and he recovers it rapidly. We're going to go in and just start shooting him with Bofa, and then we're going to spam Burning Claws when we can. Now, he's going to be praying melee to start with and meleeing us. One of the changes they made is that he only prays the style he's using. So he's going to change style occasionally, but he only prays against the style he's using. So he's going to start with melee, then he's going to pray ranged, and then he's going to pray mage. Prioritize using Bofa. It's your best DPS. When he's range style, swap to Fang. You're never going to touch mage in this room anymore, which is a fucking massive change. It's so much better that you don't need to mage anymore. So good, so good. Let's do it. I'm going to explain what we're doing as the room goes, because it's fairly straightforward. So just camp Bofa, summon Thrall, and just hit him. You're going to see that if you've done a raid before seeing this, his chip damage is much, much, much lower. I believe he maxes like 7 in a 300 with melee. Yeah, there you go. That should be the max. So he hits much, much less. So we're going to swap to Fang now. He's doing Simon Says. Swapping to Fang because he changed to ranged. He's level 2, so it does 5 of these memory puzzles. And you dodge it just like that. So Feeling Special is going to make it really fast, but you can see you totally have plenty of time to deal with it. Now we're going to swap to Ranged and Blowpipe. These have incredibly low defense, so Blowpipe is about 10% better DPS than Bofa. You want to keep your Blowpipe for this room. And the chip damage on styles that are not melee is even lower. So they barely, barely hit you. Okay, pray Mage. We're going to swap back to Bofa. Bofa's better than Blowpipe on Akkha. He's a bit tankier. This black overlay means that if you run around the room, it's going to drop orbs that damage you. Just sit still. Literally as easy as that. Okay, we're going to dump some specs because he's mage. Just kidding. Back to ranged. Unlucky. I want to spec after that. So the next time he style changes, I want to spec. Let's brew up. I don't remember the last one. We're good. If you tank one of those there, it does a lot of damage, so you really don't want to mess that up. As soon as he switches, I'm going to hit him with a claw spec. So after we kill this. Shadow is still Biss on Akkha over Bofa. Shadow is still Biss, but if you don't have a Shadow, Bofa has become the new option. Very, very strong option. Okay, I'll have a chance to spec here. Let's spam. Salt's going to run out, so let's resalt. And this is a big room where Blood Fury comes in. You're taking chip damage. Blood Fury's healing you right back up. See, I'm back to 99. So this is the most useful room to have a Blood Fury. Okay, I barely sent that. You can still shoot these while Simon Says is going. Dodge. Dodge. It's every 2 ticks. Dodge. 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 Easy. That's probably going to be the most common thing that kills you, as Simon Says, as you mess it up. It's just something you get used to. It's not too bad. I can claw again. Let's send it. And back to Bofa. These colors you can grab in my Twitch chat. It's !Akkhacolor. It's a radius marker, and it shows you exactly what style he's using with color coding. In case you don't want to look at the prayer. Makes it a little bit more brain dead. We're almost done with the room. This is the last shadow. So we're going to swap to Fang because he's ranged. Can you Death Charge Shadows? You can. You can Death Charge Shadows. It's really good. It lets you claw. Now, you want to spam all your claws before the end because it's kind of annoying to use them in the last phase, the come phase. It's going to jump him around the room rapidly, which you kind of don't want. So try to use up your spec before then if possible. All right, cool. Now, one of the other changes is they made come phase dramatically easier. So if you've done this before, you're going to remember it's kind of difficult at the end. Honestly, probably the hardest part of the raid. It's now easy. You're going to see a dramatic drop-off in the amount. I put the true tile on these. You just shift-click tag all if you want that. You don't need it, though. You can just dodge them without seeing that. I know it's confusing for a lot of people, but there's way, way, way less than there used to be. And you can just spam Fang specs at this. It keeps things simple. It doesn't jump him around the room. Every single time you do 3 damage, or 3 hit splats that are not 0, he's going to jump around the room. They said they're going to make it harder? Interesting. Okay, fair enough. So when you do this, it might be a little harder than you're seeing, but there you go. That's Akkha. Not too bad. And I have ended the raid. The entire raid, besides the last boss, using 2 doses of brew and 2.5 restore. Okay? Pretty free. Now, obviously, you're going to make mistakes if this is your first time. That's why we have a ton of brew. Spam all you want. Any mistake you make, spam brew. Totally fine. Salts bring your stats right back. So if you're salted, you can brew as much as you want. If you're in the earlier rooms, you need to brew and then redivine. Not a big deal. You can spam as much as you want. Okay. We're going to the last boss. We no longer need a blowpipe. So put it away. I also don't need any of the supplies I brought in. So get rid of them. Ooh, that's a clean inventory, ain't it? Still need everything else, though. I can show that, yes. Okay. All right, let me think. What should I bring? This one! Stop thinking. Life. Literally no thought required. Grab life. Now, this is going to change as you get better at the raid. You'll start taking double power. You never, ever need to look at chaos. It is never good. Really common thing people do as a mistake. They're like, should I grab chaos? No. No. I had plenty of supplies through the raid. I didn't need them earlier. And I have plenty of supplies now. Do you see how much brew and restore I have? For 3 boss fights. We're fine. We're good. Now, what you're going to do before you go in the room, pull out one of everything. One of everything. This is going to make your life easier. Okay? You want access to everything you could possibly need. Maybe even 2 brew, 2 restore, just to make life even easier. Okay? These are brew. These are restore. This restores your prayer rapidly over time. So if you're ever low prayer, you can chuck one of these at the ground. It has 2 doses on it, and it gives you a bunch of prayer back. So this is extra prayer. This is an ambrosia. You probably know what this is. It is a full overheal, over prayer, full run energy at any given moment in 1 sip. It's crazy broken. You get 4 of these sips, guaranteed. You're basically immortal, effectively. If you use these when you're going to die, you won't die. Easy, okay? As you get better at the raid, you'll stop using those and not have access to it, but this is okay. Double Chaos Guy next? No. Okay. Warden is now actually the hardest part of the raid. It used to be that last phase of Akkha. Now it's piss easy. Now this is the actual hardest part. Okay? I'm going to take a second and yap. All right? I'm going to yap. This is why there's a ghost in the middle of the room. This starts the raid. Okay. We have an obelisk. This is extremely straightforward. He's going to shoot skulls down these lanes, charging up these wardens. It's going to go both ways. Which side are you going to block? The left side. Which side are you going to block? The left side. Which side are you going to block? The left side. Are you going to think about which side to block? No, you're going to do the left side. Blocking this side is bad. Blocking this side is good. And I could get into the million reasons for that. I'm not going to bother. Block the left side. Okay? Block this side. For some reason, there's contention on this. Don't block the right side. Block the left side. It's better. Okay? Now, all you're going to do is kill this obelisk in the middle of the room. Okay? It's extremely basic. What we're going to do is we are going to drink one of these adrenalines. This gives you half spec cost for 2.5 minutes. What you're going to do is you're going to enter the room, sip one of these, spec with BGS until you deal 40 damage. 40 BGS. This one's different than the other rooms. You need to do 40 BGS. Okay? You're going for 40. You get to use your whole spec bar here if you need to. Spec, 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 spec until you do 40 total BGS damage. Okay? Block 4. 4. How many? How many? 4. 4 of these little orbs. That's it. That's all you need to block. You don't need to block 10. You don't need to block 25. 4. That's it. Block 4 of them. BGS until you do 40 damage. Run to this side of the room. Equip your Bofa. Shoot the pillar. And AFK. Because this blocks all of the UFOs that are going to spawn. You don't have to think about it, okay? He's going to shoot little orbs at you. There is no way to avoid this damage. It just hurts you. A lot of damage. When they hit you, brew up. Pretty straightforward. One of the important things to do before you enter the room is change the shift click. So this is what it normally is. It's shift click destroy. Change the shift click. You hold shift click, right click the bag, shift click resupply. What this means is as you chug brew, you can shift click the bag and it's going to put potion back in your potion that you've drunk. Okay? It's going to make life a lot easier. You never have to open this bag, fiddle around with it. Because as you take damage, as attacks are coming at you, it's going to close the bag. This means that you have everything in your inventory that you need, and you just shift click it occasionally to get more supplies. Very, very free. Left click resupply, you could do that too. You could do right click open, left click resupply, whatever works for you. Both are fine. That's literally it. Just shoot with your Bofa until dead and heal lots. That's it. That's literally the whole part of P1. P2, this guy's going to get up and he's going to start shooting you. Pew! The little white skulls, typical colored skulls, are ranged attacks. Red energy-looking skulls are mage attacks. He's going to slowly throw them at you. Like this. Block them. They do a lot of damage. Ow. Okay? You're going to attack him with magic first. What's going to happen is you're going to attack him with magic. He's going to do these attacks, and I'm going to explain how to deal with the special attacks like while we're doing it. You're going to attack him with magic first. He's going to go down. He's going to go down on one knee, shoot core out of his chest. Core is a little tiny thing on the ground. The core is his actual health bar. Okay? To kill the core is guaranteed max hits on your weapons. That's why we have the DDS. What you're going to do, make sure you have adrenaline active. If it's not still active from P1, drink another sip. Okay? You're going to DDS. 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 DDS into BGS whack. That's 5 DDS specs, 1 BGS whack. This is going to get his total health bar just below 60%. This matters because it lets you do more hits next time. Okay? When he gets back up, this is going to immediately suck the core back in. When he gets back up, you now don't mage, you range. So you're going to alternate between these styles each time. Okay? Swap to ranged. Shoot him. Block prayers. His core is going to shoot out again. What are you going to do that time? You're going to DDS spec, DDS spec, DDS spec, DDS spec, and now the toss-up. Just start poking it. Okay? 4 DDS spec, 5 pokes, BGS whack. You're always going to end with a BGS whack because you literally get a single game tick to do one more hit. So it's just a big last hit you can do. Okay? This is going to get him fairly low. The reason we don't want to kill it, you could kill it here. You could get a 2 down. The reason you don't want a 2 down is because you still get points for the 3rd down, and this is going to make you more money. So he's going to get back up. You're going to go back to mage, kill him one more time, hit the core a few more times, a couple pokes, like 2 pokes is going to kill it. That's it. That's all you have to worry about, okay? And then you're going to go to P3. P3 I can explain because it's so simple and basic. Okay, I'm going to do that as we get there. Enough preamble, okay? Let's go send. We got this. BGS on. Enter the room. It doesn't start until you hit begin on the ghost. We're going to hit salt. We're going to hit adrenaline. We're going to shift click. Resupply. Actually, we don't have any extra. This is fine. Can you explain why you picked the warden? If this warden is the one that gets up and you block the right side, he does more melee damage. He chases you around the fucking room. He doesn't stand still. You get worse ghosts on P3. This is the challenge mode variant of the raid. You don't want to do the challenge mode variant of the raid. You follow? A lot of people have dumb arguments for it. Don't do it. Just block the left side. Seriously. It's so much harder for no reason. All right. Let's go. Summon Thrall. We're going to BGS until we do 40. Let's block 4 of these. 10. Perfect. There we go. Run to the left side. Bofa on. And AFK. Congratulations. That's the whole room. Keep brewing to healthy numbers. He's going to do that. What do you do when that happens? Stare at your character's cool armor. Because it doesn't hit you. It does nothing. Literally AFK over here. Bofa's crazy. You get to dodge everything. Nice. Now, when this charges up, he's going to shoot. Attacks at you. There's no way to avoid these. There's nothing you can do. You're just going to heal up when it hits you. Heal up. Heal up. Heal up. Overheal. Hit a restore to get your stats back. And resupply on the bag. And as soon as we hit, we're done. As soon as we hit, we're done. Yes. Run over to here. And we're going to start P2. Go straight into mage gear. Okay, we can rethrall because he's far away. Okay. One of the things you can do, and this is a little more advanced, I wouldn't recommend this when starting. 1 tick after he attacks, or actually 2 ticks because we don't have haste on, he will melee you sometimes if you're in melee range. The melee attacks deal less chip damage. So a little advanced thing you could do is that. It's a little harder to flick though. So anytime he does that, you're taking less damage. Don't worry about it. You have unlimited supplies. It doesn't really matter. But it's a thing you can do. Windmill. You literally just dodge through it like this. When it flashes, you click. That's it. It's really that simple. It's a huge delay. Sip your adren. You have to be ready to spec instantly. Tick 1. 1 spec. 2 specs. 3 specs. You can death charge the core. 4 specs. 5 specs. BGS whack. And it's going to instantly suck back in. Boom. Just like that. Now we're going to swap to ranged. Summon a ranged thrall. That stuns you in place if it hits you, and it can cause you to get hit by specials. Don't get hit by it. You have to just dodge out of the way. Okay. This is the most dangerous special. It goes in a cross pattern. So if you get 2 tiles next to the little shadow on the ground, it won't hit you. Change they made as well. So they made it so it can't go underneath Warden. So it's much, much safer than it used to be. A lot easier. Now we're gonna, mind-blowing, I know. A DDS. Again. Again? 4th time? Stop. We're going to poke five times. 1, 2, 3, death charge. 4, 5, whack. See how his health is really, really low? Perfect. So now we get full points off dealing damage here. And we're going to immediately just poke it twice, and that's going to make it move on to the third phase. Now, third phase, we have Insanity on. Now, people are really scared of Insanity. Insanity is a very scary thing. This is going to do the wave special. I'll show you how to deal with this. This is the last special attack. You're just going to click to this red tile once the wave hits it. Boom. Dodged. Come back now. Cool. People are very scared of Insanity. I'm going to teach you how to skull skip, which is going to get you more points, and it's honestly easier to deal with the mechanic than otherwise. And I'm going to teach you how to do everything. No big deal. I'm noticing I have 30 seconds on my Adren, so I'm ready to Adren spec with BGS the next phase. We want to deal 30 damage. Let's heal up. Restore. Resupply. We're going to run up the right side of my green tiles. 11, not enough. Dodge to the left. Dodge middle. Dodge to the right. This pattern is all you do to survive Insanity. Every 3 ticks, he's going to throw out tiles. Literally, all you have to do to survive Insanity is dodge in this pattern. There is a 2-tick grace period where it can't hit you. Easy peasy. This is basically all the fight is. So no big deal. Totally manageable to do it. Other thing to keep in mind is that 20% damage dealt, it's going to spawn skulls. And it's going to do this every 20%. It's going to spawn skulls. We are not going to do anything with the skulls. We're going to skip them, which is easier than doing the mechanic normally. And it gets you more points. Because the skulls, when you kill them, damages the warden. And it's damage you can't deal. All you're going to do is come over here, spam click with a ranged weapon on, and your character will auto dodge through it. That's it. That's literally it. It's very, very easy to deal with. Now, every time you do skulls, you're going to come to the back of the room and react to the direction he's throwing tiles and get out of the way. Just like I did. You have an extra tick of leeway before it hits you if you're at the back of the room. So go to the back of the room when you're going after skulls. And then you can move back up here. I like to stand right next to him because it makes your shots land faster, and it's going to make skulls spawn faster. Just slight increase in DPS. It doesn't really matter, though. You could stand at the back the whole time if you want. Not a big deal. Okay, I'm just going to overheal because why not? Restore because why not? Okay, we're almost to 60%. This is going to spawn Zebak's Ghost. He is going to just do the auto attacks that Zebak does at us. So we're just going to pray. Spam click. Cool. And just pray against the first attack he uses. So it could be a stone, it could be the pot. Just pray against it and then start spam clicking. Now, at 40% here, it's going to spawn Baba's Ghost. Baba's going to drop boulders on you. So again, the same way we just prayed against one of the attacks, you're going to dodge one of the boulders and then start spam clicking. And that's it. Salt's about to run out, so let's turn it on. You don't need to kill those? Correct. You don't need to kill those, and you get more loot if you don't kill them. So it's better to not. So the skulls deal 5% of his health as damage, so we get to do an extra 20% damage, and P3 Warden is the best points of the whole raid. So it's better not to kill them. Okay, we're going to move to the right side, wait for Baba to do the animation of a boulder, and spam click. Easy as that. Completely free. There's no way to mess that up. Now, it's a little scary because if you do mess up, it does kill you. But it's such an easy tech to execute. It's not really a big deal, even with how dangerous it is. And the great thing about dodging in this pattern is unless you tank the tile damage and screw up, you cannot get hit by a boulder. So you literally can just ignore it and just dodge like this. You don't even have to think about what Baba's doing. One more time, we're going to dodge one rock that Baba drops, and then we're going to spam click. Okay, one more rock. Rock, spam click. You can spam click any of them. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's okay. Took a boulder. That's okay. We have unlimited brew, unlimited restore. We're burger chilling. I also have 4 doses of ambrosia, which are a full heal. That's 400 health in the white potions. I'm just going to overheal. We're about to start the last phase. I like to start this phase from back here because it lets you get an extra shot off before the enrage. It's just kind of nice. Now, what we're going to do when the enrage starts is run up in BGS, and we're going for 60 damage. So you're probably just going to double BGS unless you nuke with the first one. Okay, and I'm also going to stall here to show you how to do last row if it comes up. Typically in a 300, you have plenty of DPS, and you don't need to worry about last row. Basically, the tiles are peeling away behind us. Okay, I did 20 BGS. I'll take it. Okay, so we're praying. There's boulders coming down, and there's 3 sets of shadow lightning on the ground that are going to strike, strike, strike. It's a 6-tick cycle. So it's lightning, shadow, 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 lightning, lightning, lightning. So that just hit me, right? So that's what we're dodging. Now, I'm going to show you how to do last row if you need to, if it comes up. I'm just going to do damage until he's low, and then I'm going to stop hitting him. Can always brew up. And honestly, you should just be spamming ambrosia for this phase if you're learning. There's no reason to hold it like this is the end of the raid. Ideally, keep as much ambrosia as you can for this because it's the hardest part of the raid. Okay, we're at last row. So this would have been a little bit of last row. Totally fine. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to deal with this. You may be like, how the hell are you doing that? Unlucky, I couldn't dodge that one. Okay, I'm going to stop shooting. Now, a lot of people think this is a DPS check. It's not. It's not a DPS check. What you're going to do is it's shadow, 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 strike, strike, strike. You see the pattern? Shadow, 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 strike, strike, strike. Shadow, 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 strike, strike, strike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step on the first shadow as it's striking, which does not hit you. So if you time it properly, you can always dodge everything just by doing this. I could do this for 10 minutes. It's not an issue. So a lot of people are like, oh, I got so unlucky. I got killed by a DPS check at the end. First of all, you have 400 health in ambrosia and likely another 80 health in brew. Why didn't you just drink potions? But second of all, it's not a DPS check. So if you're skilled, you can actually dodge all of this. It's not a problem at all. You see how I'm just like perfectly dodging all this? Now, sometimes you get kind of a bad pattern and you will be forced to take one of the lightnings if you're not fast. I'd say 95% of the time, though, you can dodge it. See, this is a bad pattern, but I still can dodge it. So this is going to come up more in a 500. You'll occasionally see this in a 300 for just a little bit. The higher your raid level goes, the longer you're going to be stuck last rowing. But you can see it's really not that stressful and it's not that big of a deal. You just kind of have to learn the 6-tick pattern. And you're just going to do a single shot every time you step on that first shadow. So it'll just be like this. And I'm going to do this until I kill him now. You've got the idea. Just like that. And that's it. That's a 300. A 280 because I didn't make time. I forgot to swap it. But I was yapping. My test run, I got 30-minute raid. So you would expect this to be much, much faster. I literally yapped 18 minutes. Did we get a purple? Probably not. No, unlucky. So important thing to remember is with the changes, if you were doing 300 before, you're like, oh shit, they nerfed purples? No, they didn't. Not for you. They only nerfed it on a high raid level. So no big deal. You still have the same purple chance, and the raid is a lot easier and faster. Whew. Let's check the board to see what my raid speed would have been, roughly, if I didn't yap, because it won't show the between rooms. 250, 230. So 5.5 minutes. This is about 10, 15 minutes. The raid is a lot faster than it used to be. Not bad at all. And I got to 49 minutes because I was yapping so much. But get into raids. 300s are very easy compared to what they used to be, and they're very, very doable. So I'd highly recommend trying if you haven't sent them. They haven't been nerfed, and in fact, they've been buffed because they're so much faster. And you don't need a ton of gear to do it. I will be putting up a guide for Atlatl in the future. Atlatl setup is about 25 mil compared to Bofa's 180 mil. So if you don't have the money for a Bofa right now, I'm going to show you how you can do that. With that, it works fine. It'll be more iron focused, but you can use it for your main. Atlatl's super cheap. Atlatl's a super good option for range, so check for that if you don't have the money. That's it. I hope you liked the yapping. If you did, leave a like and or subscribe. Peace. Mwah! See ya.